What celebrity rumor do you truly believe? Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise's marriage was a contract. Natalie Woods was murdered. She didn't fall off the boat. Her husband, Robert Wagner, killed her and Christopher Walken was a witness, but he will never say anything. Daniel Radcliffe has a bronze statue of himself and drinks lager brewed by monks specially for him. This was from a while ago, but my buddy said that Kevin Spacey was gay and tried to him after partying with him in DC. I believed him, and when the Kevin Spacey thing came out, my buddy made a huge Facebook post saying that nothing happened between them and to stop calling him. Tom Cruise really won't come out of the closet. John Travolta is a closet homozool who hangs out at gyms late at night hoping to get laid by a young fit guy. Magic Johnson got HIV at an orgy thrown by Eddie Murphy. That Kim K. Ray JSX tape was deliberately leaked by her publicist. I've heard that Paris Hilton is really into restoring vintage radios. I choose to believe it's true because it makes the world seem a little more interesting and wholesome. Charlie Sheen throws orgy and coke parties. Pays P-Run star to attend as guests and has each of them sign NDAs at the door. I've been in the PRN industry for going on 3 years. This is a fact. I don't know who else he invites. Though I'm assuming his crowd is predominantly famous. Edit. Paul Pierce pooped his pants and had to be wheelchaired off the court to pass it off as an injury. Edit. I agree with this. I am a Celtics fan and watched it happen, and it was bizarre that he got carried off and wheelchaired out only to come back like nothing happened. That Jared Leto's underage girls. I definitely put Drake in that category too. Marilyn Monroe didn't commit suicide. She was murdered. Simon Cowell stealing the underwear of X Factor contestants. Inhales deeply now. That is without a doubt the most pungent pair of undies I have ever stolen. That although Demi Lovato has been a huge advocate for against bullying, that she was the bully in her school. She has given interviews portraying that she was the victim of bullying during her years in public school. However, people that attended the school the same time as her paint a different picture of her, saying she was no way a victim and that she was actually one of the bully. I think Elton John might be gay. I wonder if his husband knows. Mel Gibson is the sperm donor for Jodie Foster's kids, one of many reasons why she always supports him, and heralded his return from exile. Danny DeVito will not die. He will just keep getting smaller and more condensed until he turns into a black hole and destroys the whole solar system. Edit. First Silver. Your eye. John Hamm has an enormous penis. Like he needs more things to go his way. The Hamaconda. I never had to Google so many names. Freddie Mercury snuck Princess Diana into a gay bar. Derek Jeter gives his one-night stands gift baskets. How Rogelio de la Vega of him. I'm absolutely convinced that Nima and his sister are dating. My heart is yours. My love is yours. My smile is yours. My day. My night. My longing. My best company. Asterisk. Granted, that's been translated from Portuguese, so it might have gained some level of romance in translation, but he wrote that to his sister on Instagram. They've got each other's damn faces tattooed on their respective bodies. Stevie Nicks blew cocaine up her butt. I don't know about Stevie, but Carrie Fisher admitted to doing this. Paul Rudd is immortal. Britney Spears is being held captive by her father, the conservatorship, as a way to keep her working and earning money for everyone downstream. Semicolon. Edited to add that. Just like clockwork. K-Fed has revoked access to their children until she falls back in line. We're watching a lifelong kidnapping in real time. I believe that many celebrity marriages, even babies, are actually contractual. People are paid enormous sums of money in private to create power couples that push brands either commercial or personal. And the babies are part of the contract for when the buzz dies down over the marriage. The contracts last for a fairly arbitrary number of years until the shocking and unexpected divorce. Then the new power couple starts. That Britney Spears' life is truly being controlled by her father and team. It's obvious the poor woman just wants to live her life out of the spotlight with her kids. Conservatorship abuse is real and I believe it's happening with Britney. That Troy McClure does things with fish. Cal Ripken almost missed her record-setting game because he was busy beating up Kevin Costner. Will Smith and Jada are definitely swingers. David Beckham purchased Victoria Beckham a $1.8 million SX toy. That's almost literally you money. Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son. Jimmy's mom had a legitimate affair with Michael Jordan. Jimmy doesn't know who his father is. 9 months previous to Jimmy's birth, the Chicago Bulls played against the San Antonio Spurs, which is Jimmy's hometown. There is a striking resemblance. Jay Leno apparently has a huge penis, and he writes his own material. Willem Dafoe apparently is in the same boat about the penis thing. He was nude on set at one point and the director said he had a confusingly large penis. I strongly believe there are cabals of pedophiles with some serious pull in the entertainment industry. We already know sexual abuse is rampant. I'd shocked if there wasn't a network of people who leverage their access and control over children for profit, blackmail and power. Jay-Z and Rihanna had an affair. Would explain why they literally never ever are seen together anymore. There is only one Olsen twin. Moving back and forth very quickly. Lindsey Graham is gay. Pretty much an open secret now. But still. Khloe Kardashian is O.J. Simpson's daughter. Taylor Swift uses 4chan. I don't necessarily believe this, but it's the celebrity rumor that I find the funniest. Stanley Kubrick was killed because the orgy scene from Eyes Wide Shut was too accurate to real Hollywood sex parties and they were afraid of getting exposed. Juliana Margulies and Archie Punjabi hated each other so much they needed green screen to film their final scene. That's not a rumor. They did green screen their final scene. The NBA forcing Michael Jordan to retire due to his gambling rumors. Dan Schneider, the producer of several popular Nickelodeon shows, is absolutely a pedophile and a predator. All the signs are there. Avenged Sevenfold drummer Jimmy Sullivan's death wasn't an accident. It was a suicide. Brompton Cocktail was his song about how and why. Fiction was his suicide note. Delonte West had sex with LeBron James' mother. I honestly believe that the walrus was Paul. That Drake is grooming Millie Bobby Brown. Vin Diesel is gay. Source. My sister used to work in the fashion industry and it's an open secret there. Also Anne Hathaway is incredibly dull. But this one seems too obvious to even be a rumor. Sonic's design was a marketing decision. Same with that Starbucks cup. The logo was facing the camera. Starbucks cups wasn't even a Starbucks cup lol. It was just some local coffee shop cup in the town they were filming. This whole reality is actually Rod Stewart's dream. As soon as he wakes up we're donezo. Rod Stewart is Azathoth the blind idiot god confirmed. Elon Musk is a furry. Bill Clinton voted for Trump. Floyd Mayweather actually can't read. The CIA killed JFK and Angelina Jolie might have borderline personality disorder. I don't think it was the CIA. I think he was shot by Oswald but also accidentally shot by the Secret Service. Ed Sheeran had a secret relationship with Courtney Cox and possibly got her pregnant but she had complications and lost the baby. In his song Take It Back he talks about sleeping with a movie star and adding to the population. That Shane really did have intercourse with his cat. Clark Gable committed a hit-and-run murder. Bill Cosby and Oprah Winfrey forced Dave Chappelle off the air. That James Charles tried to pay a guy. Prince William is not loyal to Kate. This may come off as hearsay, but my sister is close friends with someone who is in that circle. Trump has dementia. Avril is dead. That Richard Gere gerbil story. Only because my mom's friend was working at Cedars Sinai the night he came in. That one of the Olsen twins, don't remember which one, had something to do with Heath Ledger's death. He was living in a place that he rented from Mary Kate. And the person who found him, instead of calling emergency services, which would have saved his life, called her before calling the ambulance. If she had gone the other way around, odds are he would have been alive today. Taylor Swift is absolutely a professional beard. She's dated one too many confirmed bachelor-seeming gentlemen to be anything but. Mac Miller overdosed because he was depressed. Ariana Grande left him and got engaged after only 6 months. Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain. Option 1. Messed up drug addict with a troubled past and a slew of mental health issues murdered her husband without a clear motive and masterfully evaded experienced investigative and legal professionals who could not find evidence of her involvement. Option 2. A messed up drug addict with a troubled past and a slew of mental health issues committed suicide. Ultimately, I feel like the hate for both Courtney Love, she killed Kurt, and Yoko Ono, she broke up the Beatles, originates from the fact that people hold their idols in very high esteem and it's much easier to deflect on an evil, horrible woman than it is to admit that those idols had flaws. Courtney Cox bleaches her butthole. Alicia Keys is totally into girls. That all of them are paid to cause drama and be popular, while in reality, most of them have absolutely no talent at all. The ability to cause drama and maintain popularity from millions of people sure is a talent. I don't know how Brittany Murphy or her husband died. Brittany Murphy was murdered and they tried to cover it up. Entire story is fishy with her mysterious death and her husband's a few months later. Some celebrities will campaign against receiving a highly prestigious award to boost sympathy and increase their box office mojo. See, I think that any actor actress in the game long enough know what they're signing up for with the projects they work on. So they know from reading the script and who's directing and who they're working with that this movie will put butts in the seats and that this can be a payday project. This one on the other hand will probably be a good movie. Hopefully it'll make back budget. But it has awards bait written all over it. Right now I enjoy keeping an eye on Daniel Radcliffe's work because he's made his war chest money. He's got some good versatility. And he seems to pick roles because they really interest him more than anything else. That Beyonce's first baby was carried by a surrogate. There's just way too much evidence. Especially her deflating bump. I really love Beyonce though, and there's no problem with surrogacy in my book. I just can't fathom why she'd lie about that when the rumors would probably reflect worse on her than just saying she had a surrogate. Harry Styles is gay or bi? There is a rumor that James Charles is convincing straight men to be gay so he can trick them into dating him. I think that might actually be true. I'm pretty sure it isn't a rumor. Kurt Cobain wrote every song on Hole's Live Through This as a gift to Courtney Love. It's a fantastic album. That Jennifer Lawrence sucks cocks for movie roles. Oh. J. These are rumors? Angie Bowie caught David Bowie and Mick Jagger having sex. Can't speak for Mick Jagger. John Travolta is gay. I went to a nude spa that is known for guys perving at each other and jerking off. 95% of the guys are there for that, and there was a framed picture of him shaking the owner's hand on the wall. Are you sure it was his hand? That Kel from Kenan and Kel is actually dead. Mundo Burger couldn't let him live after finding out about their beef hormones. Britney Spears' famous meltdown where she shaved her head was a planned move. She was going through a rough divorce and was entering a fight for custody. There's a very good chance she had some drugs in her system, but was going sober. Regardless, long locks of hair hold the records of drug use for some time. It was a calculated risk that she could have a meltdown from all the touring. Shave her head because of the stress and remove any evidence that might have cost her her kids in the long term. Charlie Sheen abused Corey Haim. MLK was killed by the CIA or FBI. Tupac is alive. The CIA killed John Lennon. Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle was abused as a child, which is why he avoids the spotlight completely. Frankie Muniz took up racing after the show and had several accidents. According to him, the memory loss was super hard for him. He is doing better now, I hear. Jimmy Fallon is a cokehead. Many reports of him looking offering in his SNL days. I believe it because I've seen his show. You're my absolute favorite. Honestly, Fallon looks like the kind of guy who would carry around a brick of coke in his sweet pocket every day. Elon Musk has a Reddit account somewhere. It's probably one of those PMME. Kent State gun girl really did her pants at a party. Melania was all set to leave her malignant narcissist husband before he unexpectedly won the election. It's hard for me to believe that there's any genuine love there. On either side. Kanye West cannibalism. He eats tiny little bites of people when he hugs them goodbye. I thought that was Mike Tyson. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Princess Diana's car crash wasn't an accident, but intentional murder. Jim Carrey, lots of psychedelics. Rachel Roy is Becky with the good hair. That Ellen is really mean in RL. Pete Davidson has a magical dick. That's why he hadn't as these girlfriends. Honestly, there is something about him that is attractive and I can't find the reasoning as to why. I have 3. Drake is grooming Millie Bobby Brown. And he is a pedophile. Daft Punk ceased to exist in 2008. And Pharrell Williams bought the name from EMI Music. Robert Downey Jr.'s success after he came back from drug addiction and whatnot is more from him basically blackmailing the big heads in Hollywood to put him in the forefront than his talent. Jamie Lee Curtis was born a hermaphrodite. Her 2 famous parents couldn't opt out of the spotlight, so they gave her 2 gender-neutral names and waited to see which she favored. Also, her somewhat boyish looks, implants early in her career, and no biological children. I'm pretty sure she actually has mosaic Turner syndrome. It's a chromosomal disorder that affects the development of secondary sex characteristics in women and makes them infertile. Most women with TS are also very short. My kid's sister took daily growth hormone for most of her childhood but is still only 4 feet 10. Close bracket. Edit. I'm a big ol' goofus and should have done some research before repeating stuff I'd been told. Looks like the stuff I posted above isn't true. For your information, hermaphrodite is not a term used for humans. Call it great on-screen chemistry between a first-time director and a first-time film actress. But I somehow refuse to believe that Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper were that electric on film and absolutely nothing was felt done about it off screen. That James Charles is a sexual predator. Kanye West is a closeted gay fish. Rob Schneider pays migrant workers to choke him in the shower. John Travolta has not and never will come out of the closet. Beyonce hired a surrogate for her first child because she didn't want to ruin her body and for whatever reason decided to pretend she was pregnant the first time around. She was definitely pregnant when she had the twins though. Marilyn Manson had his ribs removed so he could suck the dick of the kid who played Paul on The Wonder Years. That the vast majority of people who become famous have done so because of some sort of special treatment. Whether they are a victim of Me Too, willingly slept with someone, or some sort of relationship nepotism took place. Entertainment is a field where there are countless people with the similar skill levels vying for the same jobs. When you have a scenario like that, corruption is all but guaranteed. The Dong of Will Dafoe. Thora Birch's dad is a pedophile who has abused her for much of her life, and his behavior towards her and those she works with is a big reason her career flatlined. That Nicolas Cage actually stole the Declaration of Independence. Dan Schneider was a pedophile. There's just way too much evidence for it to all be circumstantial. Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard. Hannibal Buress brought down Bill Cosby by ranting about him in his stand-up routine. This isn't a rumor, this is just what happened. Prince Harry ain't Charles' son. The first thing that came to my head is that Wendy Williams is a transgender MF. Katy Perry is a robot android, what the proper term is. No doubt in my mind. Look into her eyes. Cold and soulless. She ain't human. She's a machine. Also, she, Emily Blunt, and Zooey Deschanel are just slightly different trims of the same production model. Larry King kept a fan under his desk to blow away farts. I thought you meant a fan like a person. And I'm just picturing some guy under the desk saying something like, "You know, I watch you all the time, Larry. But, how much longer do you want me to do this? This is weird. Larry." There are almost definitely some really out there fetishes that some celebrities need to indulge to get off. At the end of the day, whoa, they're just like us. That Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes was a contract marriage deal. Suri Cruise is really Chris Klein's daughter. No way. She has Tom Cruise's whole face. Donald Trump has a teeny tiny penis that he calls Don Jr. Sometimes he also calls him his son. Dan Schneider got Jamie Lynn Spears pregnant and they hired an ex of hers to say it was his. Joan Jett witnessed the RP of Jackie Fox by Kim Fowley. Murray ate some random person's French fry, looked them dead in the eye and said, "No one will ever believe you." Well, I believe them. Justin Trudeau is Fidel Castro's son. I have an uncle that believes Freddie Mercury to be the epitome of heterosexuality. And he'll literally fight you if you say Freddie was actually gay. Jennifer Lawrence slept with Harvey Weinstein for parts. Jokes on her, though. Taylor Swift was absolutely behind the Kim K. Paris robbery. All the robbers wanted was Kim's cell phone. The ones who were caught admitted that. The reason Kim lost her ring and other valuables was because the robbers were speaking French, so Kim was just handing stuff over trying to get them to leave. Why would they only want her phone? Because she had recorded conversations between Taylor and Kanye that would make Taylor look bad. That Keanu Reeves is immortal. At least in our heart. Jamie Hewlett might be Banksy. After watching Leaving Neverland. Yeah. MJ did it. See. I personally think MJ did everything everyone said too. But I worry about people making up their minds about complicated legal cases after watching documentaries series which by their nature are going to omit details. Be biased in one direction, even unintentionally. At some point someone is going to die because a load of people decided they did a crime because of a TV show. And it's going to turn out they didn't do it. I thought so too after seeing it. But then it turns out that there's some fishy stuff about it. Like one of the victims claimed that he was abused at the train at a time when it turns out the train wasn't even built yet. Stuff like that really make me wonder if the majority is fake or not. Just to draw out attention. I'm not a fan of his either. So it's not like I'm looking for ways to make him innocent. That Beyonce was never pregnant. I remember seeing a clip where her bump folded when she sat down for an interview. I just think if she did need to use a segregate she should have talked about it openly to help with the stigma. IDK if it's true. But it always stuck with me. You meant surrogate. Roger Goodell's wife has many burner accounts to defend her doofus husband online. That Michael Jackson's nose fell off. Well known among the behavioral health community that Michael Jackson had body dysmorphic disorder when it came to his nose. Don't know if it actually fell off, but I do believe he had so much surgery on it that the bridge collapsed. Any doctor with integrity should have refused to perform surgery after a certain point. The CIA killed Marilyn Monroe. Walt Disney's body is frozen beneath Disneyland. Which is why they made the film Frozen. So that when people Google Disney Frozen, It would be the movie and not the links talking about Walt being cryogenically preserved. That Kim K set her robbery up in Paris. That Keanu is a great human being. Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King are lesbian lovers. That Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer. Jennifer Aniston is still pregnant 20 years later and still has never had a child. Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence hooked up. Michael Jackson slept in an oxygen chamber. Says it gives him superpowers. Taylor Swift and Carly Claus dated.